Welcome to Moments with Marianne. This is your host, Marianne Pastana. So our special guests today are Dr. Michelle Gourdine and Mistie Mace, nurse practitioner, and they're here to share with us the missing link in medical weight loss. So GLP-1 medications have transformed obesity treatment and renewed focus on the science behind medical weight loss. But experts emphasize a key truth. Medication alone isn't enough for lasting change. So what combination really works? After many unsuccessful attempts, Mistie Mace, nurse practitioner, is finally finding success on her weight loss journey. She joins us to share her personal experience alongside Dr. Michelle Gourdine, Chief Medical Officer for CVS Caremark, who will discuss the benefits of a comprehensive whole person approach. So welcome to the show, Dr. Michelle Gourdine and Mistie Mace, nurse practitioner.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited that we get to talk about this. Mistie, can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
Yes, I started my journey to better myself. I have a 19-year-old who's fully disabled, and I needed to be around a lot longer for him. And so I had to make the decision and some changes to be here for him and for myself.
Well, I think that's such an important thing to really, when we look at any type of weight loss journey, that we're doing it for, and in many ways, the right reasons. When you decided to turn to GLP-1 medication, what made this moment feel different from previous attempts?
This moment, it felt right. I had to make lifestyle changes and habit changes, and that was the biggest thing for me, was changing how I had lived my whole entire life. And then I worked closely with my physicians. We made the decision to try this and see how I would do with it. Past attempts in weight loss had failed, and working with my physicians, working with my health coach, and then family support. I had huge family support for it, and it made it a lot easier, and portion control. Once I was able to master that, that was huge for me.
What a journey you have been on. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think so many
Thank you.
people struggle with our weight. And so, Dr. Gourdine, you see many people have early success with a GLP-1 medication. What does the research show as far as results? Do they always last?
I think the research really mirrors what you're hearing from Mistie, which is that the medicines jumpstart the weight loss process, and they do a really good job at that. But it's really that extra support to change habits, to change lifestyle behaviors that push people towards success. These medicines are really effective in treating the biology behind weight loss. You know, there are some people who may say that, oh, well, if people just eat right and exercise more, they're going to lose the weight. They're just not trying hard enough. And that's actually not true, because our bodies are wired to prevent starvation, which means that for many of us, when we start to reduce the amount that we eat, our body slows our metabolism down, and it really sends signals to our brain saying, hey, you're hungry. And these GLP-1 drugs really do reverse what happens there so that you don't feel hungry. But at the end of the day, what we know is that these medications are a good first start, and they're a good tool as part of a longer-term plan that includes the lifestyle changes that are necessary to maintain that weight loss.
So to dovetail with that, what should patients really keep in mind to set realistic long-term expectations?
I think a conversation with the healthcare provider is so important to talk about a few things. First of all, to ask, is this medication right for me? Secondly, whether or not there are going to be side effects. People hear a lot about side effects with GLP-1s. Quite frankly, most of them do cause side effects, but they're pretty much manageable. Many people have them, but over time they feel better. And there's a way to sort of manage the medicine with the healthcare provider in terms of dosing, slowing down the increases in dosing that really do minimize those side effects. Then there are things like costs. Can I afford it? Does my insurance cover it? That's a conversation you need to have with your healthcare provider because they can be expensive. And then finally, to really have that frank conversation to make sure that the patient is really committed to making the lifestyle changes with the proper support in order to be able to succeed. One of the things I'll point out at CVS Health is that we have a weight management program that really does focus on not just the medication, but providing that extra support that Misty talked about that helped her be so successful.
Oh, that is so good to know. And so Misty, I know you touched on this a little bit, but since starting treatment, what changes have you made in your day-to-day life to support your long-term goals beyond the medication itself?
I became more active. Um, Becoming more active at home, going out with my family, walking. I have a treadmill in my office, so I'm able to walk on breaks. Portion control. I've been able to change how we cook, how my plate is set up, and choices that I made with foods and different things. And then working closely with my doctors, I've been able to come down to over 50 pounds of what I was when I started. And I'm very happy with that. I'm happy that it's coming off. It's not coming off too quickly. I'm able to work closely with them and just increase my activity. And it became a family thing, not just me trying to do it alone.
Well, congratulations. I
Thank
mean, what
you.
an accomplishment. That's so amazing.
Thank you.
So, Dr. Gourdine, when we look at the factors that influence how weight loss results are maintained after medication is discontinued, what are some things we should consider?
Well, it all boils down to the way that you carry yourself through your daily life. And Misty nailed it, portion control, making sure that you're eating the right types of foods in the right balance. How much protein are you getting? How much of vegetables are you getting as well? How much you're cutting back on carbs, by the way, for example. And how active are you? I mean, we're not trying to turn people into marathon runners, but just getting physical activity throughout the day is so important. And there are so many different ways that can actually fit within someone's lifestyle and the things that they have to do. Misty is a nurse. She's a busy mother. She's a wife. Many of us have those multiple roles that we play. And so whatever support and behavior change we're going to adopt has to fit within that lifestyle. And so that's why having those conversations and having that ongoing support with the coach becomes really important so that you can make those tweaks. And then that drives long-term success.
So, Dr. Gourdine, for individuals considering a GLP-1 medication, what factors should they discuss with their healthcare provider to determine whether this approach is right for them?
Sure. The doctor should be part of the conversation to talk about safety issues to make sure the medicine is safe for them to take. There are certain medical conditions where this medication might not be the right type of weight loss medication to use. Issues that we talked about earlier in terms of costs, in terms of side effects, and in terms of commitment to lifestyle changes are also very, very important to talk about.
And how does CVS Caremark help with this discussion?
We actually have a weight management program that we offer to patients who are on these types of medications. And it's very simple. It really does ground itself in the simple fact that these medications are great at helping to initiate the weight loss and helping to change some of the biological forces that would cause people to maintain weight. So the medication is very important. Making sure that medicine is affordable is also important. CVS Caremark works very hard with manufacturers of these medications to convince them to lower these prices because affordability is essential. If you can't afford a medication, you're not going to be able to take it. And if you don't take it, it's not going to work. So that's very important. But then we layer on top of that coaches who get to know each individual to understand their lifestyle, understand what they have to do day in and day out, and make adjustments in order to ensure that we can plug in those choices, those behaviors, those healthy habits that really drive towards success.
Well, how exciting is that there's so many resources out there? Where can our listeners go to get more information?
CVShealth.com is the place to go for more information.
Well, Dr. Gourdine and Misty, thank you both so much for taking the time to be on the show with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for sharing the missing link in medical weight loss with CVS Caremark. And for more information, visit cvshealth.com. Well, we're at the end of our time today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. You're listening to Moments with Marianne, where we make every moment count.
In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Her guests are leaders in their fields, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, and business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in her own work, and while teaching others to develop, refocus, and grow, Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. You never know just which moment will change your life forever. Make sure to tune in and visit momentswithmarianne.com for more information.